KARD is back on everyone's lips, but forget new music or trophies. This time, it's messy. One tiny slip-up sparked a massive firestorm, dragging the coed idols into a scandal no one saw coming at all. The Spark BM. The group's powerhouse reposted a TikTok hyping KARD's legacy as a mixed-gender rarity in a scene obsessed with keeping boys and girls apart. A bold move, claiming their throne in a strictly segregated industry. Innocent enough, right? Maybe deserved. But buried in that clip was a toxic barb that flipped the script, a nasty caption declaring KARD's discography vastly superior to the fresh-faced rookie's all-day project. Chaos erupted the second he hit share. The narrative twisted instantly. Instead of praise, BM faced a firing squad accusing him of throwing petty shade at kids a decade his junior. Critics blasted him, saying a vet of his caliber must know better than to target rookies who are merely starting their journey. Some got nastier, calling it pure envy. They painted BM as a bitter has-been, jealous that all-day project cracked the Korean market, a feat KARD never quite managed despite their global fame. But as the hate spiraled, the mask slipped. This wasn't just a gaffe, it was a symptom of a festering wound. Fans vented years of rage, claiming KARD was sabotaged, ignored, and sidelined by the industry, even while conquering the world stage everywhere. BM tried to clean up the mess, swearing he missed the caption and just wanted to hype his team. But the excuse fell flat, the fire was already raging. The apology was just the start. It triggered a brutal debate on status, power, and how the K-pop machine chews up and spits out anyone who dares to defy the rigid norms or break the perfect idol mold. If one tiny slip can open old scars, the real mystery is simple. How did KARD get trapped here, and why does their saga still ignite such fierce, explosive arguments in the K-pop world today? To decode this drama and the dark industry mechanics fueling it, smash that subscribe button. Don't go anywhere, we're about to dive deep into the gritty reality of KARD's chaotic path. To get why KARD is such a lightning rod, we need a time machine. Let's go back to the Wild West of K-pop, the 90 seconds. Before the rules were written, mixing boys and girls wasn't just okay, it was the norm. The industry was bold, reckless, and free. They were omnipresent. Titans like Rura, Tutu, and Cool ruled the charts, fusing male and female tones in a way that felt organic, not dangerous. Fans cared about killer hooks and mass appeal, not the fragile, manicured idol fantasies that dictate the game now. It was pure. By the turn of the millennium, mixed groups were still on fire. Coed and Sharp dropped monster tracks, becoming national icons. They proved you didn't need to separate the boys and girls to print money or capture the culture's heart. They were so huge, the industry built them their own throne-specific awards just for mixed groups. For a fleeting second, it looked like coed acts were untouchable, a permanent fixture in the blueprint of K-pop's destiny. Then, the machine took over. The 2000s brought the factory model, strict branding, curated images, and the selling of parasocial love. The game shifted from music to manufacturing the perfect obsession. Boy bands like TVXQ and Big Bang blew up. Girl power icons like Girls' Generation set the bar. The market split. Fans craved segregation. They wanted idols. They could dream of dating, not artists who worked with the opposite sex. The fantasy demanded purity, not partnership. It was a new era. Mixed groups didn't die instantly. They just ghosted. Sure, some hung on and duets popped off now and then, but the actual groups, they hit a wall. Getting traction became a nightmare in a scene that moved on without them totally. By the late 2000s, the coed concept was radioactive. Not fresh, just risky, old school, and unsellable. That slow death explains why KARD's arrival years later felt like a slap in the face to the system. They weren't just debuting, they were declaring war on the new rules of K-pop directly. When DSP Media dropped the KARD news in late 2016, it looked like a suicide mission. Debuting a mixed group in a market obsessed with single-gender perfection, it felt insane, a reckless gamble against the industry flow. Everyone thought DSP had lost the plot. Was this a Hail Mary or just plain stupidity? Critics called it tone-deaf, a blind leap ignoring a decade of clear market signals today. People wrote their obituary before the first note played. They swore history was a loop, KARD would crash, burn, and vanish into the void just like every other mixed act. Instead, KARD did something unexpected. Rather than debuting traditionally, they rolled out a series of project singles that slowly built momentum. When their first release dropped, it didn't just perform decently, it turned heads internationally. Their vibe was electric, a mix of tropical house, hip-hop, and pop that shattered the cookie-cutter mold of the charts. The world woke up fast. International stans became obsessed, hooked on their rebellious sound and that daring mixed-gender chemistry. It was a revolution. The hype machine roared to life. Global giants hailed them as the next big thing, noting that their coed swagger wasn't just a gimmick, it was a magnet for curiosity and massive buzz. Every drop went harder, smashing global charts. It proved KARD had hacked the system, unlocking a level of success everyone else deemed impossible. They sold out the Americas, tearing down the walls that used to destroy mixed acts. It looked like they found the ultimate cheat code to survival. But beneath the surface, a disconnect was forming. While international audiences embraced KARD enthusiastically, Korean fans remained cautious and distant. The global fame was a mirage. It looked like they made it, but in Korea they were ghosts. They lacked the domestic respect needed to survive. What looked like a victory lap was actually the start of a brutal split, a curse that would haunt their entire career. It was a tragic trap. When KARD officially debuted, it felt like the stars had aligned. Their hype didn't fade, global charts embraced them, and tours abroad kept selling out. It looked like a total win for the ages. To the world, they were icons, rebels who bypassed the old guard and built a global army first. But inside Korea, the glossy image fell apart. The reality was stark, cold, and brutally different. A total nightmare. Trophies were a fantasy. Mainstream fame, zero. They fought to build a local army, but the domestic crowd just wouldn't show up. The divide grew toxic. Why the silence? Some blamed the stigma. Koreans, they said, couldn't handle the co-ed dynamic. They saw mixed groups, not as artists, but as a breeding ground for scandal, dating rumors, and forbidden tension. It was a dirty taboo. KARD shattered the fantasy. In a world where fans pay for the delusion that idols are theirs, a co-ed group ruined the immersion. They defied the rule of emotional exclusivity. They just didn't fit the dream. Others pointed fingers at the suits. The strategy was clear: chase the dollars abroad. Constant tours, global focus, they bet everything on foreign soil. It built a global empire but starved the home base. Korean fans who need constant attention were left in the cold. The cycle became a trap. The world screamed for more while Korea forgot them. The gap didn't just grow, it became a canyon. It was a death spiral. Then COVID hit and the illusion collapsed. No tours meant no lifeline. Without a home crowd to catch them, they free fell. Momentum died. As trends shifted and concepts changed, the struggle turned into a fight for survival. It was brutal. Their brave new path became a prison. Stuck between a distant world and a cold home, they were trapped in limbo with nowhere to go. Enter All Day Project. Their arrival ripped the scab right off. The tension exploded. Why? Because these rookies didn't just debut, they conquered Korea instantly. Their speed was unnatural, a slap in the face to KARD's grind. They bagged a win in days. Days. For KARD stans, it was agony. It shone a spotlight on every failure, every snub, and every missing trophy that KARD had chased for years despite their global hustle and innovation. It hurt. The scene that once called them poison was now welcoming the co-ed vibe with open arms, but only after KARD had already bled for it. Cruel timing. The injustice sparked a war. Fairness, privilege, timing. Fans screamed that the rookies had it easy, big backing, deep connections, and a market finally ready to play ball. They walked a paved road KARD had to clear with machetes. It was rigged. Others swore it was just bad luck. KARD hit the scene when mixed acts were radioactive, commercially deadly, and emotionally jarring for the possessive idol culture of that time. Rejection? No, it was sacrifice. Fans now say KARD took the hits to break the locks, quietly forcing doors open so others could stroll through without a scratch. As these discussions spread, a wave of rediscovery followed. New listeners began revisiting KARD's discography, praising the group's consistency, bold musical identity, and refusal to conform to industry expectations. Traits that once choked their fame at home are now seen as raw truth and lasting power. But in K-pop, glory is a ghost that rarely haunts you when you need it most. Sadly, perfect timing crushes pure talent, deep impact, or wild vision every single time. Right here, KARD serves as a grim omen, showing that being a pioneer often hurts. In a vicious cycle of viral fame, the daring souls who bet everything usually wait an eternity just to be felt, assuming the world ever cares enough to really understand them. It reveals a dark truth: trailblazers get erased the second their bloody path starts making money for someone else. Nobody knows if this fresh gaze will spark a real rebirth for KARD. Yet one thing is dead certain, their scar is carved too deep to ever wash away. To keep exposing the dirty secrets, rigged games, and shadowy wars beneath K-pop's shiny mask, you have to smash that subscribe button, like this video, spill your guts in the comments, and lock in for our next expository breakdown.